Youth Service is supporting Kemsa just the same way we have been supporting other departments in the government. You know that the National Youth Service basically is there to assist any department that needs a bit of support. And when we were approached and told that we go and support Kemsa, it is not something that was of a surprise, because we have continuously supported, for example, Ministry of Lands, immigration. We have all continuously supported even the police themselves. So when we are doing crowd control, when we are doing security issues during national exams, we have all continuously supported the police and the KDF. The other time, you remember, the National Youth Service was on railway, supporting the railway to ensure that we have the railway line. So the issue of us supporting Kemsa does not mean National Youth Service is taking over Kemsa. I think I don't know where that notion is coming from, that the National Youth Service has taken over from Kemsa. Kemsa still remains Kemsa. The National Youth Service is there to support some of the talents that they wanted in terms of ensuring that the capacity is built within Kemsa, to ensure that they restructure Kemsa, to ensure that they get the best out of whatever the program they're going on. So it is not a surprise to me that they turn to National Youth Service in terms of support. National Youth Service is known for the discipline that we have, and therefore that's what attracted the government to ensure that we support Kemsa. I've seen many people, naysayers, saying that why are we approaching the National Youth Service to support Kemsa, because at one time National Youth Service was known for corruption. I want to say this: the National Youth Service is not corrupt. It's the individuals that are corrupt. And when you keep saying that the National Youth Service is corrupt and therefore cannot be part and parcel of the destruction of Kemsa, I think you are very wrong. Because the people we take to Kemsa, these young men and women we take to Kemsa, are these young men and women we are seeking at the servicemen, servicewomen. And at no time did we ever see National Service stealing from itself. The people who are stealing from National Service are individuals within the government, so to say. And you cannot always blame the service for the wrongs that were there. Remember, an individual is not an organization. Once that individual has been moved, then the organization remains. And I don't want to see a situation whereby that tag of National Youth Service all the time being taunted as a corrupt institution. I think I've been in the National Youth Service for the last 3 years. I don't think you've had any corruption case. It's because we're working together, we are putting structures, and even those corruption cases in National Youth Service were not done by the National Youth Service. And therefore, it is very good for us to always understand that when you're blaming an institution, you're also killing the morale of staff, of the servicemen, servicewomen. This is where the young men and women come to nurture. Remember, we take care of these young men and women who come from very unfortunate backgrounds. Some of them are from poor families, some of them are from single mothers, some of them are orphans, and therefore we give them a chance in life. When you see these young men and women who are here, they will not have had a future. They will not have had a future. So it's always very good to understand the organization before you blame it. Yeah, there are scandals which have been done everywhere else, and we see them in the headlines, but you can always not have a permanent tag on that institution. And I want to say, National Service is not corrupt, it's individuals that are corrupt. So the institution is there, and it's very strong. We have put in structures, and these young men and women are also given a chance to go and assist Kemsa to structure. And remember, when we go there as a National Service, we take their young men and women, they're also given some money to feed themselves. So it's very important that it also offers an opportunity for the young men and women to get something to eat. They are youths, they are Kenyan youths, they are your brothers and sisters, they are your daughters, they are your sisters. And therefore, if they are given a chance, I don't think you can tag them to be corrupt. You can never tag an individual to be corrupt unless you have evidence that that person is corrupt. And you cannot tag an institution as corrupt simply because there was a history of corruption. You want to tell me that we'll live forever talking about National Service in 10 years to come, talking about corruption? Really, we can never move on. So I think we are also excited. They were part and parcel of that team that have been identified to go and restructure the National Service. And we are going to do it. We are going to do it because our background is discipline, and that discipline we are going to portray it as we as we do whatever the government wants us to do in the National Youth Service. I mean, in Kemsa. Thank you. There are different categories of areas that the National Youth Service is going to support. We are going to support in terms of logistics. We are going to support in terms of drivers. We are also going to support in terms of just making sure that there's organization that in the warehouse, for example, warehousing. We are also going to give services and secretarial, you know. So we have definite and specific areas we are going to touch on. Remember, the the Kemsa has not been disbanded. I think there are just a few categories of people who have been told to go home. As it were, the senior management is there, and they're going to be given guidance as to what National Youth Service should do. So those are the areas we are going to deal with in terms of the assignments we are given. I'm 100% sure that NYS going to Kemsa will give a very big contribution and change to Kemsa. Having learned our lessons also in the National Youth Service, we can also transfer that kind of knowledge to Kemsa. What is it we can do to ensure that an organization is well structured, an organization has structures that can be counted on, that are effective, that are strong. So I'm 100% sure that our going in 30 days will also assist Kemsa to restructure. When you do this kind of activities is when you realize that we have a lot of talents within these young men and women. And from this kind of youth is when you can now nurture their talent once you have discovered what they have. And moving forward, all the people who have those kind of talents in terms of the youth we have in the National Youth Service, we are going to support them. We are going to support them so that they can nurture those talents and also ensure that we connect them with the relevant organizations, be it Athletics Kenya, be it banks or whichever organization that can take up the youth. Because, you know, nowadays youth can actually earn from the talents they have. Today you've seen athletics, today you have seen field events, but we also have talents such as music in the National Youth Service. We also have talents such as different arts, and we are all very, very excited that we can nurture this kind of talents in the National Youth Service. It is good that we give them that kind of chance, and remember, it's only at this level is when you can now discover certain talents that you have. So we have always urged all the commanding officers in our 22 units to ensure that they support the youth that we have in the National Youth Service. So moving forward, we are going to continue having this kind of competition. We are going to partner with other organizations. We are going to partner with our sister disciplines, services such as the police, the KDF, KWS, forest services, so that we can make sure that the National Youth Service is part and parcel of the youth talent that we have in Kenya.